All right, welcome everyone. I have a bunch of friends. We're here to discuss some ideas that are absolutely new to North America. I have been assigned by the company to come back to Canada. As many of you know, I spent last 4 months researching in the Middle East, in Dubai, in places like Saudi and in Europe, to come back and provide opportunities for people to be taking a different road as far as money goes. Money is a changing basically phenomenon. Right now it's going from one phase to another. And there are companies who are teaching people just like ourselves and giving us opportunities to make some money on the side of what we do. So I'm going to start my presentation with that and I'm going right here. If you see my screen, you can tell me yes or put a one. Anybody, can you see the screen, please?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. I'm not hitting the share button. Hold on. I will be sharing now. Share button. We learned a little bit of technology here, so I'm going to take my time to make sure I answer all of your questions. Now we go share.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna see.
Steven, sir, this is who you're looking at. I'm Arif Gilany. During COVID-19, I was working on a brand called Camel Products. Natural Wellness Source is the new line that we have now growing in Saudi Arabia, in the GCC countries. I also was teaching a course based on the circle of life to teach about laws of life. For example, law of belief, whatever you believe will become true for you. Law of expectation, what you expect is really what will happen to you, and the laws of thinking. One of my students came back and said, Mr. Gilany, I have an opportunity that you should take a look. And I said, what is it? He said, allow me to introduce you to Orem team. And since August of 2025, I became an ambassador of hope to introduce this new bank business opportunity, especially here in Canada and US. Previously, as a financial advisor, I was teaching this 3 times a week, how people make money 4 legitimate ways. Let's say an employee, somebody who has a job, has an income based on a position, and hourly maybe $35, $40, arborist $50 an hour. You go work 8 hours, you come home with a paycheck, and after taxes gone, now you're only left with 70, 80% of what you make if you're lucky. Self-employed people say, listen, I'm going to go get my own truck. I'm going to cut my own trees. I'm going to do this my own way, just like a doctor, lawyer, hairstylist, real estate person, or a sales professional. The more they work, the more money they make. And the third way, this is all from Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, says a business is a system. And the purpose of a business system is to create customers who bring other customers. The ultimate way to make money is to become an investor. So I recommend all of you take some notes and ask some questions at the end of this, because even if you've heard this 100 times, every time I watch it, I do it, I have more questions. Previously in financial services, Stephen, my friend, I learned that out of 100 people in Canada that work the age of 65, 41 will still be working, 54 will be dead broke. Only 5 out of 100 people have enough money. This is all over the newspaper, statistics, TV. I don't need really to hammer this.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about these 5 banks and how they were established since 1800s and started basically this money situation that we're in right now, that most people take a credit card from one of these banks and they send you a statement, you have to pay it back with interest, all of this. So there's a lot of financial knowledge we're going to teach you here, but allow me to introduce Orem New Bank. What is Orem New Bank? And the only question should be on anybody's mind is, what is your opening balance? Let's say you have an opening balance at TD right now, it's opened, you have $500 in there. My question is, how much is your $500 at TD CIBC, Scotiabank, RBC, BMO making you a month? Even if you have 100, let's say you have 10,000, let's say you have 20,000 in RSP, how much is that money making for you? That's the question we have this presentation based on. I'm not a financial advisor. Every investment carries its own risks. I am here to share my experience and represent the company and its wonderful CEO, Mr. Brian Benson. Who's Brian Benson? Brian Benson is the person who was the first to introduce a Binance, which is a digital exchange where money is exchanged from one currency to another in South America. In Brazil, Argentina, he was responsible for 25% of Binance growth, which became a billion-dollar company in 1 year. Faster than Apple, faster than Microsoft, faster than all of them. And he is steering this ship here. He is the CEO. If you Google Brian Benson, you'll see a lot of images. If you're on YouTube, you can see a lot of his interviews. There's some of my favorites here. I watch all of them. The more you learn about a person's mindset by watching them, you can see where their mission is. So I did my own research. Forbes magazine, he is a member at Forbes, writes for Financial Council. So what I'm here is not to sell anything, just to introduce.
2 years ago, AI finance wasn't even really a concept. Today, you have an opportunity to invest your money in some sort of yield-bearing product that is actually working, right? You can go into certain kinds of apps, and we're building it into Orem, and you can say, hey, I have $1,000. I want 30% of it to be high risk, 10% of it to be this, the other to be that. And in a month from now, update me on how it's going, and let's see where we're at, and maybe we can shift it then. And so you can talk to these things, and in a very simple and easy way, you can accomplish things that before it took a PhD in programming to figure out. And so I think that's the difference here. Is it's coming closer and closer to the everyday person. We are a true crypto native, crypto first neobank, and so we have a leg up because we're not bringing crypto into a legacy system and introducing it to people that don't really know about it or aren't sure about it. We're bringing crypto first, and then the rest of the banking experience comes later. So I think we're flipping it on our head. So I think you're going to see in the next 2 years a huge increase in the amount of users that are coming over from some of these other neobanks into crypto first neobanks. And Orem's not the only one, but we hope to be the leader in that space.
You heard from the man himself, Brian Benson, a visionary leader. I think he is, personally, I believe he's one of the geniuses of this world, like Steve Jobs, only in the money. That's why he's on the Forbes magazine. But I wasn't satisfied, Stephen. I had to go search it myself. This is me going talking to the co-founder, the person who actually hired Brian Benson, and he's the marketing director, none other than my good friend now, Ahmad Zen. And I asked Ahmad, I've come from Canada. I need to know the details of this. Can you please assure me that who they are? What is this? What's happening here? He says, Mr. Gilany, I am an employee of the company. I'm a real estate magnate in Dubai. I have all of these businesses, but I love people. This is what we found out about people. Most people are financially struggling. So my goal is to build a community of hundreds of thousands of people in the next 3 years where they have financial tools to build their own freedom. He says, my mother, who's 77 years old and lives in Dubai, I open an account and put some money on a Visa card for her. She goes shopping with the profits every single day, from buying milk to buying luxury diamonds. So what's the product? It's this bot. It's called EXAI bot. It's a robot. It's not Chat GPT. It's not this. This is run by humans who are geniuses. Brian Benson himself worked at Morgan Stanley for years. Then he went into Binance. Then he is here to build a community, and this was their first product. And the product is a bot that does instant trading on all the money markets in the world, buy, sell in split seconds, because it can make 10,000 decisions in a split second, far more advanced than humans in thinking, in decision making. All the banks are using this. They're all right now investment advisor hoarding here. They were offered $100 million for this first bot to be sold to banks, and they refused, and they started to bring this community together with this first product. Second product, I use this every single day myself. And those of you who have a wife, you think, people are spending time with their wife, no matter who it is, everybody's got challenges. You could load up this card, send up your wife, your husband away, and spend some time thinking about your own future, thinking about all of the things that you can do with that wife and husband, because it really provides freedom. At the end of the month, you don't get a bill. You load your profits onto here every single day. You can do that as you see profits coming in. My goal is to teach a half dozen people by April 1st on how to get this card, how to make $1,000 a week on the AI bot, and they can spend it right here. This bot has basically, this is one of 7, and the other one is, this is for people who are professionals in trading or in basically Bitcoin, things like this, which I wasn't. I had no clue. I didn't know anything. Thank God I didn't know, because I learned it from the ground up, and now I'm an expert in this. I don't use it, but I know how it works. An example, Stephen, of a person who started on April 10th of 2025. This company has been around for 3 years, since 2023, but it became available to people like us last year in March. And this is April 10th. Somebody put $10,000 in there, as you can see in the circle here. Let me go forward. For April 10th to June 24th, which is 10 weeks, that $10,000 one-time investment had grown to $15,000, which is 55%. Imagine all of the bank monies that I mentioned in the beginning of people having in RRSPs, things like this, but it doesn't end here. Check this out. 12 weeks later, April 10th to July 10th, that was 74%. Not gold, not real estate, nothing produced 74%. If you put a property for $1 million, can you go ahead and sell it for $1,174,000 10 months later? Absolutely not. I'm just using rates of housing in Toronto and Canada. We could use a $10 example, but here's 16 weeks of $10,000, April 10th to August 10th, that I got introduced to this company. It had grown to $20,000. This really got me hooked, because this happened to me live. I watched this go here. This was my starting August 11th. As soon as I saw this presentation, I said, yes, I'm in. Here is the opening balances. I said, in the bank, they ask you what's your opening balance. Let's say somebody has $120. They just put it on this robot and see what happens for a couple of days, because every single day you get notifications, you make money. Every person has put their money into this platform has made money since 23, and not one single person has lost money one single day. The basic package is $100 for the account, for your account, not anybody's. My account is my account. Anybody can start anywhere. I started with $130. I was basic for the first month. August was a little bit of learning. It was a little bit slow. My $130 grew to $460. I automatically went to standard. I said, what? I get 1% raise by keeping my money here? Okay, let's double it down. I put another 2,000. Now I have 2,500. Another month went by, and that doubled up, and I doubled down. Right now I have a luxury account, which means I have $25,000 in the robot that's making $150 to $300 per day.
Wow.
So this is my own experience, this experimental, and I took 4 months to research it, to learn it, to do it. This is really the ultimate freedom that I'm offering right now to the community. and in Canada. Here's Hadi Mahochi, my good friend that introduced me, making a shopping of food in Montreal. If I can show his. It comes on the phone just like this. You tap it. Merci, that's it. That was the French guy. And here's me in Saudi. I got my card. I went to Saudi after my camel business. I said, let me see if this is going to work. Foreign visa, I loaded some of the funds that were available, my profits, if you will. I said, let me take out some money. So I go to the machine, language, anywhere, any place, any type of currency will be given to you on this card. That's Saudi riyals in Saudi. So this is a 12-month plan where you start with $100. That's approximately $150 Canadian, because this is all in US. And $19.99 US dollars is the fee to access this system, basically. And with that, you can get access to higher levels, get the card and all of this. So I'm teaching a half a dozen people how to make this $1,000 a week from hence to April 1st, April 25th, that I have another assignment by the company. But here's me going to Scotiabank yesterday. Let's see if this baby works here. A little bit longer takes in Canada, but here we go. You put your passcode as I'm going through this cash withdrawal, and it comes from credit because that's what a credit card is. That was the Visa. That was the maximum I could withdraw, but the maximum on this Visa is 100,000 US dollars. Total freedom. And of course, your bank will charge you $3, and they charge me $3 to withdraw my money, but they don't give me any profits to spend. Friends and family. How about cash weekday 1,000? There's thousands of people around the world who are using this card, my friends. I'm not the only one, but I got lucky to win there, and they offered it, and I took it, and I activated, and it works wonderfully. But there's far more products. There is a POS system that we tap every single day. We go to the gas station, we go to the Timmy's, we go anywhere. Those are right now launched in Asia and also in Middle East. They will be available within 2026 all over the world. The ATM machine can take crypto and can withdraw crypto of any sort, and it's also right now in manufacturing. All of this is available on Telegram and one app that's being developed to bring all your banking services in one single place. Of course, there's an exchange that's active. I do not do trading myself, but those who put their money here, like my friend Alf in Germany, My cousin Raza in Australia are making money because they know how to, and they're getting another 10 to 20% on whatever the global markets do. This is really the end of the presentation. The subscription, as I mentioned before, is $19.99, and that's for the whole year. And that's like really going to Tim Hortons to have 3 coffees. I have been there yesterday, I know. So end of presentation, and there's a compensation package that we can continue. Any questions? Stephen, how was?
Well, this would be very, very new to me. I haven't done any of this kind of thing. Mark brought this to my attention, and I am interested because I am one of those employees. I've done the ownership of a business. I'm an employee now, and it's like I'm tired of the rat race, to be honest with you. The paycheck to paycheck living. I'm just so tired of it. And then, like you said, you put a little bit of money in the bank, you don't make anything. But yeah, it'd be interesting to start this, see where it goes. My question was from basic to standard to luxury. What kind of money do you need to put in each one in order to jump up?
So the startup, and I'm glad Anton is here. Anton is in Nova Scotia or middle of Canada. He joined me as another student that was in the course when I came across this, so he can testify too. But you can start from $100 US dollars as the minimum, the basic, and it goes on to, let's say, the start of each let's say threshold is the end of another. So once you go past basic 250 and above, you enter already the other, the standard. So it keeps on going until it gets to the end, which is the 50,000. Unless you're a, let's say, a professional investor with $1 million, then they will, executives, they come and do the whole thing. We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this simplest ways to try it, and it's all on the phone, it's all on the apps until you get familiar. That's why I run this 90-day program to make sure that all of the questions, because honestly, Stephen, a lot of people are tired. Thank you for being honest. The rat race is on, the taxation is high, people don't have money for groceries. We're just opening up the gates for people to come and talk to us, my friend.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the end of this. I'm going to stop this recording. Thank you for your honest feedback, and we look forward to helping you soon.